Episode 754, Brain Candy Podcast, Susan and Sarah.
Susan and Sarah. We used to be so serious when we introduced this. We were like, welcome to the Brain Candy Podcast. I'm your host, Susie, and I'm your host, Sarah. And now we're like, whatever.
Okay.
Welcome.
Yeah, but Sarah, back
What?
then, because we have to listen to old episodes for things we got wrong. So we did have like a more like official opening, but then I would eat the whole friggin' episode.
Yeah. And
like
then I would just say dumb
complete
shit.
animal. No,
Yeah,
you didn't. You
there
were
was a lot of
great. I was like,
eating.
oh, these chips are great.
Susie,
What?
this is funny that you talk about. First of all, I want to validate you. And we were young baby podcast hosts.
You don't have to
so
validate me. Go ahead.
I don't blame us. We made a lot of mistakes on there. We were in different places in our lives, and we've since learned.
We got
and upped
things
our
wrong,
game.
and that's why we have a spinoff.
And that's
Okay.
why we have that show.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you brought up the sound of eating, because are you watching the new season of Great British Baking Show?
Not yet. But I will be. Yeah.
Something has happened.
Oh, no.
They have taken away the background music or something, or they had the rights in England and then they didn't have them over here, because there is way too much audible chewing on
What
that
are
show
you
now.
saying? When the judges
I'm saying
eat
what
it?
I'm saying. Yes, I'm saying exactly that. That you will hear more chewing than you've ever heard before. It wasn't a thing I ever noticed, and all of it. We're on like season 11, or I've watched many a season.
That's awful.
Yes.
What's
it
the
is
name
awful.
for like the audio equivalent of high def?
Oh,
What's fidelity?
well,
Maybe high fidelity.
it's a great movie.
Well, that's what that word means, though. Hi-fi, high fidelity.
Yeah. Hi-fi and lo-fi. Yeah, I did know that was a thing, but I did not know that was what lo-fi and lo-fi.
Well,
was
I'm
short for,
wondering.
so.
Maybe though, and I don't like it if that's what you're telling me, because I'm gonna
No,
have to
it's not
listen.
good.
And be
It's like the background music went away.
That's awful.
And then I wonder, am I just noticing it more because Eli has a sensitivity to that? He's one of those people. It's like Misphonia. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
If I actually got that right.
That's right.
Okay. I can't remember the difference between Al Bundy and Ted Bundy, but I can pull out the name, the psychological, come on. That's annoying. I guess that shows where my focus and attention lies.
You know what else is annoying is people with misophonia.
Yeah. And so Eli has it real bad, and he hates when people chew, especially on the phone. And I feel like this has something to do with how the sound is processed for him.
Yeah. Well, he does
Because-
have a difference, a hearing difference.
Yeah. So I wonder if that's a thing, if you have differences in hearing, that those sounds become, I don't know, louder or more pronounced.
I mean, for those people,
processes in
I
a different center.
I kid about how they're annoying, but it's only because it is so upsetting to them that they're rude, but it's because it's like all they can hear is this like crunching or slurping or whatever it is. And they get very distracted by it.
I have realized that I like harmonies in music, but that's like everybody does. But I especially like whatever happens in Taylor Swift's song, where she goes, uh-oh, 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 uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, I know that one.
Yeah. I can't remember
You love that
that's
one.
the name of that.
Well, you
but
have
the
that
when she does
ASMR
that,
thing.
it gives me tingles. It's like that note, and I'm like, they fucking know what they're doing. That's
for sure.
Yeah.
Because she works with those Swedish guys.
I did that annoying thing, Susie, where, you know how when people give us like a documentary and it becomes really popular, we like resist it and don't want to watch it. And then we watch it and we're like, oh my God, that's so good. I may have inadvertently done this with Taylor Swift.
Okay. And now you're a Swiftie?
Yeah. Like I was so annoyed that Spotify kept feeding me. Also, did I use the word inadvertently correct there?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I was wondering. I threw that out. Never really used that.
It's
in
like
sentence
accidentally.
before, but I heard it and it sounded real good, and I was like, I think
Wait
this
a
is how you
minute.
use it. So I just tried it, and Yes.
Yeah, it's just a synonym.
I mean, I
for
know what it means, but you know when like you hear a word like when I remember the moment when I learned the word grappling, and then I was like, oh, that's a fun way to say wrestling with instead. But like, and so I like threw that into a sentence for like a couple weeks, and so inadvertently, it's like I've never used that in a sentence before.
It worked. You didn't even have to say it. Like I wouldn't have even thought.
I was like
she
looking
was
for like maybe like
that.
a change. Like I was like, did I use that right? And I'm feeling it out. Woo! You guys can also use that. It's a fun one. Makes you sound kind of smart.
It's so funny how like you want to sound smart or good or whatever, but then you like confess that it did not come naturally.
Because like, what if I use it wrong? This is like a perfect example of like how I can't lie. Like this is
so great.
Like, I'm like, I just learned that. Can I use that? Did I do that right? What am I even talking about? Okay. Oh yeah, Taylor Swift fan. So I was getting so many like Spotify kept like suggesting her songs. This was like last year, and I'm like, Spotify, I'm Beyonce. I don't want to hear Taylor Swift. So I muted her. I made Spotify like do not play songs by this artist anymore. Like I silenced her. Right. Because I was like, it's too much. And it came up in my like Spotify like wrap up. I was like, no, I don't know. I don't download Taylor Swift. No, that's not me. But Beyonce again. And then with all of this, the stuff that's happened with her showing up at the Chiefs game and her dating Travis Kelce. And
you like that?
I love that boys, and I will refer to them as boys, even though they are grown men, are so mad about it. And that ESPN has now become the Taylor Swift channel. And like, I am seeing articles written, like calling it like the Yoko Ono effect, how she's going to ruin football. And I was like, wow, these cranky little babies think one woman is going to take down a multi-billion-dollar industry. Like, this is the Salem witch trial. This is like men, insecure men hate when a woman has any amount of power or influence and are so threatened by that. It's like, you guys are so fucking obvious. Like, you're not even subtle. And I love it, and it's making me love her way more. So I might unmute, we have 8 weeks left before, Spotify wrap up gives me my results, and I don't think that's enough time for her to shift the results that much.
This is
I don't want it to be like, you love pop music. I'm like, no. But
well, if it makes you feel worse, I think Beyonce and Taylor Swift are overrated. So everyone will be mad about that.
Overrated?
I
think
that
you said?
Yeah, both of them.
Because
musically.
You haven't been to see Beyonce. I'm telling you, would have been we would change your mind had Beyonce actually showed up, which actually is not helping our case. My case
musically,
right now.
musically, but not in an entertainment way. They're extraordinary. I'm
totally
just talking about music. Okay. Another thing that's extraordinary is freaking laundry sauce. I don't know.
Don't even get me started.
I'm getting you started, Sarah.
Suze, I love that sandalwood fragrance.
I thought you were going to be dragging your feet with laundry sauce because you're very worried about like upsetting your skin and stuff.
And guess what? No complaints. Again,
no complaints.
We have learned it is not something that smells good I'm allergic to when it's chemicals I'm allergic to.
And they've stripped away all the unnecessary ingredients, all the artificial dyes, and then they just maximize the stain fighting and the scent, the perfume of happiness that is filling my closet.
And don't even get me started on the number of pods you get in the order or dryer sheets. I won't even tell you. It's gonna secret. If you order that, just look at the number that come on the box. Yeah,
and it tells you're in for some pleasure.
Yes.
And they have, so they have
clever.
Detergent, they have scent boosters, dryer sheets, dryer balls, and fabric softeners. And so you're going to be smelling great. I have laughed several times about my story about Lincoln putting on his hoodie and almost throwing up because I can picture it in my mind when I had the problem where my washer was for whatever reason making my laundry smell disgusting.
Yeah.
And I have not had that problem since laundry sauce. It's magic. It's amazing.
It smells so good.
Remember when you smell your best?
Pillowcases. Woo. on my
You're
couch, and now I
bedding?
sit on my couch, not bed, couch. When do you ever do that? I did it, and it smells so good every time
They
I
have
sit on my couch.
incredible
Okay.
scents.
Yes.
When you smell your best, look your best, feel your best, you're ready to take on the rest. So head to laundrysauce.com/braincandy. Use promo code BRAINCANDY at checkout for 15% off. That's the best offer you'll find. But you have to use our code BRAINCANDY for 15% off your order. One last time, that's laundrysauce.com/braincandy. Promo code BRAINCANDY for 15% off. And I have all of our codes on our website because it means so much to me when you use them. So I want to make it as easy as possible. Just go to thebraincandypodcast.com and you can find all of them there. Thank you so much for every support you offer us. We love you. So we can talk about Taylor Swift and all these hot takes that we have.
I'll guess it. So yeah, that's back to Taylor Swift. You know, that's why I'm now like, I wouldn't say a full-fledged Swiftie, but I do like how she's mixing it up and throwing a wrench into the whole thing. And I
do love that.
I love it so much. I just love when boys are mad about stupid
you know
shit.
what? I was at a Steelers party this weekend, and there was a woman who's like the mom of one of my friends. So she's like just in around 70. And they're huge football people. And I was like, what do you guys think of the Taylor Swift stuff? And she's like, she goes through men like she goes through water. It's ridiculous. Like there's this misogynistic
Right.
idea that she is like a problem and she needs to buzz off. And so, of course, it's mostly men, but it's also these women that sort of like buy into that worldview. I was just like, huh, you think? I was like, sorry, I asked, you know?
Yeah. It's like they don't like it. It disrupts things.
Yes,
and
disruptive.
Yeah. And I was reading, there was an article, I think it was in the Atlantic, that said Taylor Swift is too big for football or too big for, and it's not about them dating. It's that they called it the sports media, like factory, like the sports media cycle, like news cycle can't handle this. Like it's too big. And ESPN plays the same shows over and over and over, and it's the same stuff. That's what they do.
Yeah.
It's the same four shows on repeat.
The same talking points, the same speculation, the same stories.
And it is all, I was in I think it was like a media marketing, like some marketing class or media consumption, something like that in undergrad. And they were talking about ESPN in particular and why they advertise the way or why they are scheduled the way that they are, and how the the literal show will repeat. It'll be at 8 a.m. and it'll be again at 10 a.m. And there's the assumption that ESPN is getting played in the background places. And so when you hear the same message repeated multiple times, it gives you that amount, like a little more faith in the message. And you are like, oh, that sounds familiar. I trust this more. When really it's just the message you heard earlier, but you don't realize that because you're watching it and kind of not paying attention. And what this does is it makes you very susceptible to advertising because that's all this is advertising. It's the same company that owns ESPN, owns Disney, it's all the same. So this is what they're doing, and they're taking advantage of people in like a very blank slate mind place. And all of a sudden there's a topic that is new and novel.
It's unfamiliar. Yeah.
Yes. So they're perking up and they're like, what? What is this? We're hearing about this again? Motherfuckers, you've been hearing the same stories again over and over and over. This is just on a topic that you don't care about.
Makes you uncomfortable.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I love that.
I love it too. 3 cheers.
I know.
Shake it off, Taylor. Don't worry about it.
I will say I'm done with the commentators using the
lyrics,
Taylor Swift punts. Like, we can do better than that.
We get it.
But I do love, because like I am on like gay Instagram and follow a lot of like gay accounts, and I love all of like the gay guys who are like, all right, Swifties, let's break down football. Okay, Kelsey, what the hell is his name? Travis Kelsey is a tight end. And then like they giggle about like, can we just take a moment and giggle about that? Like that is so funny to me. His jersey sales have gone up 400%. Like the fact that we are pointing out, like it's becoming a fun thing to point out how silly football is.
So
it's silly. And then the fact that these like grown men are wearing other grown men's names on their back, and then they want to like come at us like, oh my gosh, women are so crazy and how they follow the Kardashians. Oh really? Oh really? Name the starting lineup of, whatever team for the last 5 years. Yeah, you can. Come on. Like it's the same shit. So I just love everything about it. I love the videos of like women recording their husbands when they say like, isn't it amazing how like Taylor Swift is really like putting Travis Kelsey on the map? Meanwhile, he's like won 2 Super Bowls. It makes me giddy. Smiling ear to ear.
We're very happy. We're very happy when the patriarchy is disrupted.
Yeah. And Eli texted me the other day. He's like, you want to watch the Taylor Swift game with me? And I was like, I sure do. Yeah,
now we're talking.
Oh, it's so funny. So, okay, what do I have in non-Taylor Swift news? This was really cute. I thought really cute. You saw how there was crazy floods in New York City?
Yeah.
Did you also see that a sea lion escaped in the flooding from
Lincoln told me this.
I love that Lincoln and I are bringing you the same material.
Yeah,
yes,
and I was into it. It's not like I was like, yeah. I was like, what? And he was like, yeah. And the water was so high that this guy got out of his enclosure and then afterwards went back in. That was my full news report from Lincoln Butler.
Oh,
so
I don't know
if
that's
went
back in.
Yeah, like somehow got back in and was like back home. No problem.
Oh, he just wanted to go on a little walkabout, like just
a
like
little swim
explore in the hood. Like, wouldn't you? I mean,
yeah. But I wonder if maybe they were scared.
I bet, but also I'd be like, freedom.
You're like, but it's also adorable.
It's adorable. Like I am waiting for the children's book to come out where it's like he escapes
did it say
and
anything
like
about
what
them?
does he do? No, it was.
You were just psyched about it.
I was just psyched
you
about it.
You were just like at Lincoln.
I was just psyched because I'm coming off all these animal documentaries, so I'm like, sweet, I get to work animal facts into it. Like, did I already tell you about the difference between seals and sea lions on here?
No, but there's
super easy.
There's none.
There is. Sea lions have ears that come out of their like actual ears, like flaps, and seals have holes for ears. That's how you can spot them. And there are a bunch of different kinds of species of both. But walruses, there's only one kind of, and they're in a category all of its own.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm skeptical
of
this being true.
Fact.
Not because of you, but like, they're just making like, oh no, we're different. We're different. Right. I swear.
Yeah. You know how
like original.
You look at like the branches, the animal, like the classifications of animals, and they're all in the little branches. And then it'll be like seals that branch off, and then there'll be like things that classify them or separate them in like 2 little groups. And so you'll have like a bunch of like, there's like, I don't know, 24 different kinds of seals. And then there's like 12 different kinds of sea lions. And then you see like one little line coming off and just walruses by themselves. They were just like all alone and not like anything else. And
yeah, that's for sure.
They are weird.
They're weird.
I saw a video of one pop up and like out of the ocean and pop a raft. Somebody's like
that's
dinghy.
So rude.
Like it does feel like animals are revolting. I mean, wouldn't you?
I don't know. We've been pretty nice to the walruses. Haven't we?
Yeah, that's true. Don't.
I mean, maybe
what about their
not.
tusks? Were those hunted? It feels like they were.
Yeah. What are they made of? It's like garbage. Nobody wants it.
What are walrus tusks? Protein, keratin,
calcium.
Oh, like I know the narwhal is just a big tooth.
Yeah, right out of their head.
Right. So
it's disgusting.
It's so weird. And we want to say unicorns aren't possible. Really? With those guys floating around? I really do think, I don't know. What do I know? I know nothing.
Well, what seems impossible but isn't is how great Thrive Cosmetics are.
Oh, I do have to say something about this. Susie.
Yeah.
You did not tell me. I always wish that I had a reaction video when I try things for the first time.
Right.
How come nobody told me about clear eyebrow gel? How come nobody told me that it's going to be an instant eye lift?
I thought you knew this. You seem like exactly who should be telling me.
I color them in, but nobody told me you put them up. And then I did that, and I was like, because in my mind, I'm like, they're just, what does this really do? What is this? But then I wanted to try it. They were having a sale.
Because you're like, why are they selling this if it's not important?
And then it said, like, it's like bestseller. And I'm like, okay, now I got to try this thing.
Yeah, that stuff is great.
That's all I have on right now. I don't even color them in anymore because, like, I can't be bothered.
I mean, your minimalist approach is real goals for me. I have, like, you couldn't even see my actual face if you tried behind everything.
Well, this is actually good because there's something for everyone where you could put on, and it's all buildable. Yeah. You're the same foundation, but you put on a little more and you get full coverage or light to medium coverage.
And she looks like $1,000,000. They have the new impactful semi-permanent smoothing lipstick, which we need to get Sarah for the Halloween shenanigans.
Yes.
Liquid Lash Extensions Mascara, which you know is our absolute favorite.
Absolute favorite.
Everything I've never tried anything and thought, oh, this is just regular. Everything I've tried has been really, really, really nice.
Me neither. And I can see the difference in the photos where I am wearing the liquid lash extension and the one where I'm wearing just a regular mascara because I have the raccoon eyes in a lot of my old pictures and I don't now.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's high quality. You will love it. Thrive Cosmetics is a luxury beauty that gives back. They donate to causes that we support. They help survivors of domestic violence and all kinds of other great things that help build the community. And right now you can get an exclusive 20% off your first order at thrivecosmetics.com/braincandy. That's Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/braincandy for 20% off your first order.
Yep. The seal's name was, or sea lion, excuse me. Sea lion's name was Sally, which I think is a very cute name for a sea lion.
Such a cute name.
Right? Sally the sea lion.
Sally the sea lion. Bless her.
I never get to tell this story, but a little story about me. When I was about 7 years old, I went to SeaWorld with my aunt and my uncle, and we've always said, whatever I am vibe I'm giving off, it's the pick me as the audience participation person. So of course I raised my hand and I got to go up on stage and I got to be the person who was like kissed by the sea lion.
That's really
on
nice.
stage. And
Did
then
you
loved every, so I for the next 2 years wanted to be a marine biologist. That's how much I loved it. It was like, remember those
also SeaWorld, not great.
Not great.
Not great.
In any way. Not a fan.
I mean, but we didn't know
free
that.
all the animals. No, I didn't know that. I was 7. What do I know? I barely have like a sense of self. Come on. I know nothing about the
I can't
world
believe that ever went over where we were like, yeah, this sounds right.
Let's put an animal that has the entire ocean in something the size of a bathtub, like not even.
Right.
You couldn't
It's
even
so
imagine that kind of
disturbing.
containment. It would make you so crazy.
Well, I mean, to be
solitary
honest, we
confinement,
see,
which is
I was just going to say, the only time I even think that is when I hear about prisons and their solitary confinement and how messed up that is.
Yeah.
We, by the way, never even talked about that prisoner that escaped doing the crab walk up that wall.
I don't even know about this.
Okay, well, I just want some credit because when I didn't know about the Donner Party, you acted like I was an idiot. But this,
you can act like I'm an idiot anytime. Free that, and Susie, come on, like you don't do that.
Look, Sarah, you're gonna love this. This was in Philadelphia, which is probably why it was even more on my radar because it's in Pennsylvania. Yeah. But this was national news. It was freaking everywhere because this prisoner who wasn't even tall, it's not like he had like some advantage, crab walked up a wall. So his feet were on one wall and his hands were on the other wall. And he
okay. Yeah.
Crab walked up.
That's a
and then
good rock climbing
somehow
move.
He somehow got over whatever and went over the razor.
Yeah. Barbed wire
Stuff. Barbed wire.
Yeah.
Not even. It was worse than that. It was worse than barbed wire. It was the worst kind.
Like razor wire. Sure. Okay. Yeah.
It was a terrible probably experience and somehow didn't get caught. And then he was on the run for 2 weeks and listen, I get that he was a murderer. He's very dangerous. If you lived in any of these areas, you were probably scared out of your mind. But he was doing hilarious things. He was breaking into people's houses.
He's not going to go out and murder. It's not like that. That's his
I
first
think he almost was because he was a murderer in Brazil. Then he came to the U.S. and this is a cuckoo crazy. Definitely might have killed somebody.
We didn't want to put him on some more
That's what I mean. And
higher...
somebody had already escaped this jail by the same method. So they knew what could happen. But he was breaking into people's houses. He was eating fruit from people's houses. And he was hungry, but he was so sensible. And he stole a gun out of somebody's garage. And then the homeowner caught him doing it and started shooting him with other guns and missed every time, shot at him a gazillion times and missed. He was really impressive in his resourcefulness. I will give him that.
That's very scary.
Bonkers. So then, it gets worse. Okay. So they finally, some either drone or airplane that can detect heat.
Yeah, that makes sense. Right.
Found him in this woods. And so then all these fucking SWAT guys, military, whatever, police are surrounding him. They're so proud of themselves. And then basically a dog they had was here, I got him. They had a dog. Okay, fine. Whatever means necessary, the dog got him. But then these assholes took a picture with the criminal as almost a trophy. Look what we got. And it took dozens of them.
Never. Don't do that.
50 of these coppers. And then really just let the dog take it. If you're going to be like that about who caught what.
Right.
You let him escape, dumbasses.
And also you did your job. Could you imagine, do surgeons take pictures with their, patients afterwards? Thumbs up, sewed them all up.
My dad should have done that when he would, drop kids off after school.
That's an odd thing to do.
It was the craziest story, and he was definitely a psychopath and scary.
Yeah, that sounds very scary.
How about the one house he went into where he ate the fruit? He was in the kitchen and the dad thought he heard something. So he starts to walk down. He's he flickered the lights. Why would you do that? I don't know.
That's smart.
How is that smart?
Because it gives a warning. That guy's going to get out of there. I don't know. It feels like it's
That's
odd.
true. But the criminal flicked his back.
No! No! That's the call is coming from the inside of the house shit. Dude, nope. Actual psychopath. That's some psychopath shit. I am not okay.
Yeah, can you imagine?
That would actually be the thing that, Susie, that's what haunts, this guy, fucking catch him. Kill, what are we doing here, people?
Death penalty.
He flicks the light.
Would you not die? Because when you're in that moment...
Susie, I'm dying when you retell it to me.
Right. If you're the original flicker, if you're the guy who's part of you is thinking I'm being crazy. There's nobody in the house. And then when you get it back, this is go time.
I'm out. I'm out. Yeah, that's it. Oh, fuck me. What would you do?
I know that I would freeze. I'd be a terrible...
I'm actually imagining it right now. And
huntress.
I'm having a hard time continuing.
What would you do? You would hide?
Everything you're doing. freezing.
Yes. Right.
What am I going to do?
Right.
I'm probably
I'm
getting
not gonna move
murdered
an
is the
inch.
answer to
Yeah. Nice knowing ya.
Right. These reflexes are not as good as I ever thought they would be.
Why would you, though, as the criminal? I guess you're right. It's psychopath because most of them would just run.
Right, because he doesn't have any fear. There's no... Dude, that guy's murdering. I was wrong when I thought, like, his first thing isn't murder. It might...
He's a psychopath
know.
and
Right.
he is good at crab walking.
When you said that, I was, like, picturing, like, I don't know,
In
some
the gym
superhero,
class. Oh.
you know, kind of
Kind
like...
of was like that. There's video of it. You wouldn't believe it. It's crazy. You're like,
This
wow,
is a good
that's
story.
impressive. Thank you. I'll tell you what
I'm
else is
glad I
good,
didn't
and
know
that
about
is
it till now.
that's Lumi deodorant.
Absolutely.
I
I
mean-
could have used a little bit this morning. I forgot again, and I knew as soon as I left the house, I saw your post about it, and I was like, fuck me. I forgot.
I know.
And now you got
Sarah-
me all sweating with this story.
I
And I'm
know.
going to be stinky.
Sarah, thankfully, has found Lumi deodorant, which is a whole body deodorant, and she can even put it on after she stinks, and it'll handle the problem. That is a blessing because she is bad at remembering.
Yes.
But thankfully, Lumi is not bad at their job, which is making us smell great. It blocks odor all day, controls odor for up to 72 hours. You can put it on any part of your body that stinks, which is great. Aluminum-free, baking soda-free, paraben-free, pH balanced for safe use below the belt. It was developed by an OBGYN.
Important.
It really is. So they have a deal. As a special offer for our listeners, new customers get $5 off a Lumi starter pack with code BRAINCANDY5 at LumiDeodorant.com. That equates to over 40% off the starter pack when you visit LumiDeodorant.com and use code BRAINCANDY5. You will love it.
Yes. I love
All
it
right.
too.
Go ahead, Sarah. I really took over your episode. That
No,
was
I
so
love
good.
this. That's because I'm now at the place where I have like so many things to talk about that I don't know which one to pick, and I'm having that problem. This is like
Pick your favorite.
I call it the Cheesecake Factory menu dilemma.
Yep.
Who can
There
ever
is like
decide
a word for it.
what they want? Yeah, an abundance of choices. Like there's got to be a word for that where I have two.
Yeah.
Like indecisive, but it's not really that. It's just like overwhelmed a
Yes.
little bit.
Decision fatigue or whatever.
Yes, exactly. We already talked about that. This is kind of interesting and annoying. The diamond industry, there's an article in The Atlantic about this. The diamond industry is facing some trouble because not as many people are getting married.
Oh my
And
gosh,
who the
yes.
hell can afford diamonds?
Yeah.
And now they're like, we got all these diamonds and nobody's buying them. We got to like make up something. So they're really pushing for us to buy diamonds for our BFFs.
Yes.
Susie, I hate to break
proposals.
it to you. You ain't ever getting a diamond from me.
Okay. Here's
I
the
love
thing,
ya.
though, Sarah.
But I'm not supporting the diamond biz. Too practical.
I know what you're saying, but you know
This
how,
is her
like,
pitch to get a diamond right now. Is this it? No. What anniversary is your diamond anniversary? It's got to be like 40 years or
50th.
something.
Oh, no, that's
50th?
golden. No.
No.
It's got to be like 100th or something.
What the hell?
'Cause-
I don't know.
Because 50th
100th?
is golden.
Who's celebrating their 100th anniversary? Susie.
75, Diamond Jubilee. I think
You just
that
made
is
that up.
something. I think the Queen had that.
Okay. Diamond anniversary. That gives you a very different result. Okay. Diamond is your 75th and
Yes,
60th.
because-
Both.
Oh.
You're right, though. It's both.
Yeah,
of those.
because of the Queen, she had her Diamond Jubilee on her 75th like coronation anniversary or whatever.
It's in this list of traditional anniversary gifts, they have a traditional column
modern.
and a modern one.
Yeah.
That you can tell the diamond industry has something to do with this because they made the 10th anniversary diamond jewelry. And we'll
I
come up
agree
on
with
that
this.
in like 2 years.
Yeah.
our 10th
I
anniversary.
agree with this.
And you know what? You have given me diamonds. You gave me my favorite pair of teeny tiny diamond stud earrings that I love. And remember, there was one time, it was so nice of you. There was one time that it fell out of my ear and landed on the elevator door, like right before it drops down the elevator shaft.
Whoa.
I found it after realizing that it had fallen out, and I was already in my apartment. And then I backtracked, and that's where I found it. Hand to God, true story. Happened during the pandemic when I lived in Los Angeles.
Wow.
And I cried because I was like, this is why I can't have nice things. And my boyfriend at the time was like, just look for it, backtrack. And I did. And then I found it.
Wow, it's a miracle.
Actual miracle. I'll never forget that. Like, if the elevator door shut, it would have been Gonzo.
Wow.
Yeah.
You also bought me diamonds for my 40th birthday. Oh. You bought me earrings that you wanted me to wear on a red carpet for a show I was pitching.
Right.
It was so meaningful. I think about it all the time. And funnily enough, that show has like resurrected. So there's still hope for that red carpet. I think they might be lucky.
Look at that. We've already done this.
We're so lucky.
We're like, don't market to us, diamond business. We are not going to fall for it. Meanwhile, we've like already been doing this. Like, I'm like, what I was going to
say about this idea though is I don't think it's a bad promo because you know how Gen Z is so weird in every way and they are super into like polyamory and like nothing is real. Everything is like debatable.
Everything's a construct, social construct. Yes.
Although on the other hand, you would think they wouldn't fall for stupid advertising campaigns to tell you have to buy a diamond for your friend.
Right.
But if anybody's going to fall for it, it's these idiots who think like friendship is like just as important as like who you breed with and stuff like that. No offense.
Yeah.
But so much offense.
But yeah.
Why am I so... I hate being like... I'm like a boomer.
Are you?
But
though?
it annoys me how they are. How
what,
there's no
millennials?
relationship.
They're like,
yes, not millennials, Gen Z. It's like how they're like whatever, like monogamy stupid.
But this is like we had different versions of this when it was like tattoos and like
like countercultural stuff.
Girls Gone Wild. You know, it was different.
Yeah,
we were doing things like that. And then you go, what? Whoa. And then you like find the middle ground. But we're more sex positive now. You know, so
I do like
good
that.
comes out of it. So there's going to be like, they're like going to the extreme and then they're going to like find the center or something a little more, you know.
I forget the name of the...
It'll probably land on rights for all people.
All right. Well, then I will, I will be very happy for them if they do that.
Yeah.
What is the name of the stone that's like a diamond manufactured in the laboratory? I forget.
Moissanite?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do that instead.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I've always said this. It looks the same. I get so many compliments on these rings. They're the rings that you have that were from Amazon.
Yeah.
Like, I wear these when I work out. I never take them off. They look exactly like diamonds, and they do not. They're great. I never take them off, and everybody thinks they're real.
Yeah, and then give it to yourself instead of your friend. Your friend doesn't need it; she's fine.
Yeah, I mean, unless you want to give it.
I mean, for a birthday present or something, maybe.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
What are we doing?
But the diamond industry definitely pushing for Platonic.
Do they want you to propose though? Because that's where I draw the line.
No, I think they just want you to like recognize the
commitment.
The
All
commitment.
Right, wait, maybe I love this.
Yeah, there was also a push in like the 80s when there was also a decline for women to propose to men. They did that for a minute.
It didn't take though.
I think more people do that than used to. Yeah. I've heard of or maybe like the Venn diagram of women who propose to men and brainiacs is like a lot of overlap.
That's so true.
Yeah. So
I mean, I have some hot takes about marriage. I'll just save it for next time.
Oh, Why?
Like,
we're done? We're
no,
done?
no, we're not done. I just, this is your episode. So
I know,
don't
but that's
like...
funny because I was going to talk about marriage.
Oh, well, I just think it's so stupid. Like, I love a commitment and I love monogamy and like family.
This is good to talk
but
about.
Like, I don't, and even like a religious or sort of like a spiritual commitment.
Right.
But I don't want the government involved. I don't get how that happened. Like tax breaks? What?
Yeah. It is
Why do married people get tax breaks? That is dumb.
Yeah.
So I don't love that. Dumb. Like if you want to make a monogamous commitment to your partner or whatever, a family commitment.
And is there a lot of paperwork if you got to break up?
Yeah, but that's because of the government.
I know. And it's very patriarchal. And the fact that I needed permission to get my like, I remember when we did an episode where you talked about last names, and at the time I was married and just dumb. And I was like, I don't understand what the big deal is. And then when I got divorced and had to go through the process of changing my last name, I was like, I'm never changing my name again. I hate every single frickin' thing about this. This is so much work for me. I still haven't gotten my passport changed back. Like, it's a nightmare to do. And like everybody, even down to like my American Airlines number is like basically like, I'm going to need a blood sample to prove that you are who you are. I can't with it. It's ridiculous. And this is not
all right.
anything.
Let me ask you this. What? If let's say you get married again and you choose to keep your name.
Yeah.
Let's say hypothetically you grew your family, you adopted or had a baby. What name would you give them then? Because that's always the conundrum.
I know. I think I would, of course, I would change my last name, but I would go by legally. Like, I like what a lot of people have done with changing the middle name, like adding just like 2 last names, like, so I can go by either. Yeah, like you, yes. And I have a couple other friends who've done that.
So your kid would have his name?
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking.
Like, we don't need any more Rices. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm
tapped out on rice.
Tapped out.
All right. No further questions.
Yeah. I love that you say that.
I'm just curious.
But I think this is you gave me like a great segue because there was an article that was in the New York Times a while back, and I read it. I loved it. It was by David Brooks, who wrote about, it was like an opinion piece on marriage and why a lot of people are focused on finding the right career, and how when you look at studies on happiness, the partner that you choose is so has such a greater impact on your happiness than the career that you choose. But that tends to not be the questions that we ask young people. And interesting about, like, so I read the article, and then it was, and I enjoyed that, and I understand, like am totally in agreement that, and just like I talked about last episode, their companionship, we are like relational beings that, you know, just like you said, sleeping with the smell of somebody makes you have better sleep. So we know that it affects, a good relationship affects us in so many great ways. But when I was looking up the article, again, there were a lot of people who wrote in and had comments about this article. And I think that was almost more interesting than the article itself, because it did look at it with a lot of those, like, more, I don't know, traditional
his
definitions.
Article?
Yes.
Yeah, so this is the criticism that not everyone, a lot of people have about David Brooks in general, is that he presents these ideas as if they're like neutral, of like, if you want to be happier, then you should follow the data, and the data show the following. And I like him. I don't mind reading him. I find some of his stuff useful and insightful. But he does come from a very traditional point of view, but it's like veiled as like, what? Like, he doesn't
being
admit
married, or in that study that showed it increases your happiness by 534%. Yeah, but it's like specifically to being married to the right person.
True, but I would also love for it to be controlled for gender, because guess who gets really happy when they're married? Men.
Right.
And guess whose life gets a lot harder? Women.
Correct.
So like he doesn't include those nuances that really affect the vulnerable people. And really what he's doing is convincing the vulnerable people that like, no, you're going to love it.
Yeah.
Because people like him do benefit from traditional power structures.
Absolutely.
But that doesn't mean he's wrong. It just means he doesn't provide that
story.
context. Yeah.
Right.
For
like
me?
it needed to be a lot longer.
Right, and like a lot of caveats.
Yeah, a lot of it was short.
With this very wide brush of like, look, it's great, I swear. And then it's like, what about for black people? What about for brown people? What about for poor people? What about for women and gays and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So I agree, but I'm a white lady.
Right.
It works out great for me so far.
Yeah.
Until Adam does something stupid. And then I'll let you know.
Yeah. And right. It would, I remember one of my professors in grad school, she did her PhD research on marriages in India. And I'll never forget, she said, and she's from India, like her family, she has like speaking from experience as well. And she said, the divorce rate in India is very low. It's like 2%. It's something crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And she said, you know what the rate of unhappy marriages are? About the same as the divorce rate in the United States.
Right.
It's like, oh, they just can't get divorced. Or they just stay married or, but there's a big difference between a marriage and a happy marriage, because I think that an unhappy one can significantly shift those stats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what shifts my stats, and that is taking AG1 every day.
Absolutely. I noticed a big difference when I stopped taking. I just got off the wagon. I don't know why. Eli was still doing it, and I got out of the habit.
It's okay. That's okay. Because you know what Arnold says?
What?
You fall down, you get back up. You fall down, you get back up, because you're not a loser.
I'm not a loser. I got back up.
She got back up.
It was, again, I always do this. I'm like feeding my plants. They're like plant fertilizer.
Yeah.
And I'm going, what am I
What's
doing?
my problem?
What is wrong? Like,
why don't I feel great?
Right. And amazing if I give myself those same kind of nutrients.
Well, and it's funny because that's exactly what moms would say too, is like, I'm constantly like, Lincoln, did you eat this? Right. And did you have enough vegetable? And then I'm like, what, me?
Right.
I need that? But it's like, this is very relatable. Right. But AG1 makes it so easy because you can have a green drink every morning, and then you've started your day off right and you're getting those vitamins. You'll be like, why didn't I do this? Because it's such an easy, simple daily routine to get into. We drink AG1 every morning. Mm-hmm. Now that Sarah's back on the wagon, mm-hmm. It makes us
Eli's
feel...
definitely drinking it every morning, and I'm trying to be more like that.
Yeah, and you'll be glad you did. It'll make you feel like $1 million. Here's the deal. If you're looking for a simpler, effective investment for your health, try AG1. You get 5 free AG1 travel packs and a free 1-year supply of vitamin D with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/braincandy. That's drinkag1.com/braincandy. Check it out.
Yes.
Big fan of vitamin D over here.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
So important.
Definitely. So, yeah, I thought that was interesting. Like, it's definitely worth read. And then the response to that is also really interesting. There was one person who said that it's not fair to compare the two because unlike a job, marriage or the partner that you find is a lot about luck and situation.
That's true.
And work you can work hard at, and if you give consistent effort and hard work, then you can kind of control for the outcome. But to that, I would say you have to work at a marriage and relationship too.
True, but you don't have to like, you could go every day and not meet anybody that's like your cup of tea.
Right.
That's the thing that like you can't really force.
That is true.
So even if you're like, I'm willing to put in the work and all that, I guess that's what they're getting at.
Yeah.
Although you could say the same about a job. I mean, you could get a lot of jobs.
Dissatisfied with every job. It's not the perfect one. Like,
sounds like the commenter was single.
Yeah, it's like a little bit of that is nobody's going to be perfect. You have to find the right fit for you, and like, what are you willing to accept? And like, yeah, I can. It shouldn't feel like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole or whatever, but it does have to. Oh my gosh,
right? Like settlers.
Oh my God.
Don't settle, man.
Don't do that.
It ain't worth it.
Like you have to, it's not easy. It takes effort and work. And I got to communicate all the time. And Eli is like a good communicator. And even though I do this for my job, it's like, I don't want to do it in my real life. You know, I don't want to actually practice the things that I tell people to do. And then he like makes me.
Wait, you're human?
Yeah, it's the worst. And, so like you have to like work at those kind of things and like admit your faults and like,
that sounds awful.
That's a hard part. And sometimes people bail when those kind of things get hard.
You want to hear a crazy story?
Yeah.
I meant to say this previously, but I forgot. It's a long story.
Oh, let's hear it.
Okay.
I'm settling in.
As you know, I was going to see Eddie Izzard, the comedian.
Oh, yeah.
And as you probably also know or sense is that I don't get out much, right? Yeah. Like, especially with just Adam. It's like twice a year.
Right.
So we were very excited. And so I wanted to get really good tickets. So Mo told me about the concert, like after it had already been sold. And so I had to use like, one of the resale sites, apps or whatever to buy the tickets. But I splashed out and I got front row because I was like, if we're going out,
Eddie Izzard is worth it.
Yeah. So I was very excited and we're driving down to get dinner that night and I get a text from an unknown number and it said, the tickets are at will call under such and such name. Don't mention. And then he said the name of the app where I bought them. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh shit, this sucks. Like, this is going to be weird. So I wrote back and I'm like, but I don't have your ID. Like, they're going to ask for an ID. And he was like, it's fine. I filled out the form from the venue where you transfer them to a different person. Okay. It's all good. And I've done that before. So I was like, okay, that's hopeful. So we go to dinner and I get an email during dinner from the app that I bought the tickets from, which is a legitimate app that I've used many times.
Okay.
And they were like, bad news.
Oh.
Like, the person that bought the ticket, like, originally, they didn't do, like, whatever the protocol is to, like, validate them.
Yeah.
So you can, like, choose one of these nosebleed options or, like, you can get a refund, which, I mean, that's nice that they do offer a refund if, like, this happens.
Right.
And I was like, well, I don't want nosebleeds. Like, if I'm going, I want good ones. So I guess I'll take a refund because I don't want to pay all that money for crappy, whatever.
Right.
So I get an email saying they refunded it. And I was like, sad, but whatevs. Yeah. And then I said, let's go to Will Call and see if those tickets are under my name. And I'll be damned.
Susie!
Yes!
Susie! Woo! Yes, you scam the scammer. Tell me everything. Oh my gosh, this is the best.
You scammed the scammer.
Motherfucker, don't even try to play with my girl. She will call your bluff.
Can you believe that not only did I go to the show, front row tickets, I paid $0. Can you even?
Okay, you know what? I was about to be like, man, you and Adam have really bad luck.
I know,
like,
we do.
You were just like, this really sucks. This is so much better than finding $20 in your dryer.
I mean, it was pretty awesome. The whole time, like, we were waiting for the show to start.
Wow. I'm so thrilled for you right now.
Thank you.
I'm like on high. This is so awesome.
He came out of Will Call, and I saw that envelope, And we didn't even say a word. We just walked in. I was like, oh, I got to get in the door. So we get up to our seats, and I was like, the whole time waiting for like an usher to come down and be like, ma'am, come with me.
Oh my God.
And then during the show, I got a text from the guy.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, did everything go okay at Will Call? Because I guess the app was being like, you're not getting paid for these because you're...
Right. You're
and
a
I was
scammer.
Like,
Susie.
I know.
You know what? You deserve this.
Thank
After
you.
Beyonce, after...
Sarah, right?
Because if that was canceled, I thought that's where you're going with this. I was like, this is...
And my trip to Boston?
This is actually not fair. Like, you
That
are
is such a good point,
cursed.
Sarah.
You deserved every little bit of
I didn't even think of that.
And then some.
I did not even think of that, but yeah, my flight to Boston got canceled. My Beyonce got canceled.
Yeah.
And this was like, finally, I got to go for $0 front row. It was great. Eddie was phenomenal. It was such a fun night. And it almost made it funner to be like scandalous. Like,
yes,
what? We're not even supposed to be here.
I mean, talk about it, because that's like an adrenaline rush too. Like, I'm feeling it. Like, I am gonna be like, oh my God, I need to take a deep breath. I shouldn't drive after this conversation. Like, I'm so wound up. Like,
I feel bad for the guy because he clearly is just not good at whatever the process is of like.
So do you think it was like, it wasn't like he was trying to pull a fast one? It was
I think so. I think he was just stupid.
Oh.
I think so, because like he knew what to do normally, like if you were on Craigslist or something,
right?
But he must not have known how to navigate
and the
this
fact
particular.
That he was like, "Don't tell him."
Oh my God! When he said that, I was like,
"Yeah." So I don't know. I feel like
when his name
in your
sounded
favor.
fake, it sounded like John Smith. Where I was like, "Oh no, John Smith, great."
I'll never forget the person who scammed me was named Tradessa Smiley. Like, what, why? That's a fake name. Smiley? You scam me? Fucking A.
That is sick.
Tradessa.
She could have at least just been like Karen Johnson.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Your mom would have been like, fake name.
Yeah, that's not a name. Like when I said I met a guy named Craig Numansky, and she's like, that's not a name, Suze.
That's not a name.
You met someone who did not tell you their name.
So
And
funny
she was
to me
right.
that is your mom's superpower, that she's able to tell you if that is a real or fake name.
Craig Numansky is not real.
I cannot.
All right.
Yes.
We got to wrap it up.
We
Okay.
do. We've been way over because, like, I don't know. I'm just chit chatting and
I'm sorry.
shooting the shit over here. Yeah. Well,
crazy.
you know, we'll let's wind it down. What do we talk about? We talked about seals.
We talked about Taylor Swift.
Sea lions, because
Sea
it had
lions.
ears.
Taylor Swift.
We also talked about Taylor Swift. I may be a Swiftie. I might unmute her on.
This is exciting for you.
I know.
I like her. When
do
I
too
say
now.
she's underrated, I'm just saying, like, how could anyone be truly good enough for the worship that she receives?
Right.
That's not unless she's literally divine. It's overrated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No. Right.
Sarah and I may or may not have platonic proposal. Remember when everyone used to say that our like podcast pictures looked like engagement photos?
So funny that every single time we do a photo shoot, it looks like
that.
And if you think that Halloween photo shoot will not also serve the same looks, I can assure you it will.
Yeah, you're in for a real treat, everybody.
Yes.
And Susie had some hot takes about marriage, but I feel like we moved past it.
Yeah. I mean, it's like good, but let's also have some like little...
Let's be sensible.
Yeah, and some nuance and different perspectives. And yeah.
But Eddie Izzard,
Oh my God.
highly recommend that show.
What a treat.
Loved it.
What a roller coaster of a story. What a good story.
It was.
Susie.
It was a roller coaster of a night. Thank you.
So fun.
All right,
You heard it here,
everybody.
folks.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.